Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. We are from 10 Group. There are me, Pikni Fatima, with ID numbers 18, 21, 22, 076. Then Kiki Rizkia Nurrohma with ID numbers 17, 21, 22, 030. And the last, Ella Lelasari with ID numbers 17, 21, 22, 015. We are going to explain the last material about slang and idiom. So let's start with first explanation will be delivered by myself. Slang. I think almost everyone know and familiar with this grammatical feature because it is often used in everyday life, whether realized or not. In Indonesia, we can call it bahasa gaul. So, what is the meaning of slang? According to Wikipedia, slang is language. It can be words, phrases, and usage of an informal register that members of particular in group favor over the common vocabulary of a standard language in order to establish group identity, exclude outsiders, or both. It means that slang is a language. It can form a word or phrase and that used in informal situation, and slang become own uniqueness in particular group. Other definition about slang from Cambridge Dictionary. Slang is very informal language that is usually spoken rather than written, used especially by particular groups of people. I think it is still similar with the previous explanation, previous definition from Wikipedia, but we can highlight from this definition. Slang is usually spoken rather than written. It means that slang is used more in spoken than written. Slang is used by all kind of people who share a situation or interest. The group which uses this word is always in the minority and often use slang to set themselves apart or make it difficult for ordinary people to understand them. It means that just that group who can understand and know the meaning of that slang of that word. Move to the functions of slang. There are several functions of slang. The first one is allows a person to be creative in use of language. Slang is always developing, increasing, and following the era or the time. If there is something that is trending, it can be allow emergence of a new slang. It make a person be creative, whether the person who make or use that slang. The second one is to communicate with each other informally. And the last one is they will be able to set themselves apart from other and be unique. It is like what I said before, that slang is a characteristic and specialty for a particular group. It can be only that group who know and understand the meaning of that slang of that word. That's all for me. The next explanation will be delivered by Kiki Rizkia Nurrohma.
So next is about the examples of slang. So here I will explain it into some types. So the first one is outdated slang. Outdated slangs mean a slang that was popular on the time but no longer used nowadays. For the example here, there's a wallflower. Wallflower means a shy girl. So for example, in a term, here you will have more fun at the dance if you are not such a wallflower. So yeah. And next, there's a evolving slang. evolving slangs mean a slang that evolved over the time. So sometimes it causes a misunderstanding between the younger and the older speakers. Uh, for for the example here, there's a busted. So busted for your grandfather or your father means it it is broken, but for us as a younger speaker, it means ugly. So here for the example of the younger speakers, no, I won't go out with you, little sister. She's busted. So like that. The next is fermento slang. Fermento slang means a slang that combined with two kind of words. So for the example here, there's bromance. Bromance is refers to brothers and romance. So bromance means that friendship between two straight men. And next one is modern slang. So modern slang, it means that a slang that highly used nowadays. So the first example is dying. It means that when you find something really funny and you died laughing. For the example like, oh, this stand up is so hilarious. I'm dying, like that. And the second one is lit. Lit means when you find something that cool and or on fire, and you can slang it with lit. For the example like, oh, the party last night was lit, like that. And next is epic. Epic means when you find something that highly enjoyable. For the example like, his latest novel was epic. And the next one is savage. Savage means that someone roasts people nonstop and doesn't care about what others people will say. For the examples like, Jimmy Kimmel's monologue last night on Donald Trump was savage, like that. And you can see another types of slang words here. There's American slang, British slang, and internet slang. You can take a look over here. There's a break leg mean good luck in American slang, and then mate mean a friend in British slang, and then ABT is for about in internet slang and others. You can take a look over here.
Hi, I'm Ella Sari. In here, I'll give you the explanations about idiom. For the first material, I'll give you explanations about the definitions of idiom. What is an idiom? For more detail, you can see and you can read the definitions of idiom in PowerPoint. And in here, I'll give you the explanations of idiom in simply. That idiom is a common phrase which have different meaning from each literal meaning, but it can understood because of the popular use. In the world, that idiom is different. It is depends on the culture and the country itself. Okay, next to the other point about idiom, it will talk about the functions of idiom. You can see and you can read also in the PowerPoint. There are several functions of idiom. For the first point is to make our day less boring. If we talk use idiom, it will make the listener not bored to hear our voice or our discussions. Next point, to make richer and spicier. In here, if we feel very angry to someone, we can use idiom, but it don't overdo it and don't scare people hard, right? Next, to help them in conveying subtle meaning to their intended audience. For the last, I'll give you the example of idiom. You can see and you can read also in the PowerPoint. There are several popular use of idiom. Okay, the first popular idiom is a piece of cake. A piece of cake in here, it's not a slice of cake. No. In here, a piece of cake is easy. For example, How about the exam? It's a piece of cake, like that. No pain, no gain. It means you must work hard to get what you want. On the ball, it means doing good job. For example, Helga, you on the ball, like that. In previous slide, I have explained about in the world idiom is different. It depends on country and culture. Now in here I have example in America. Stop ironing my board. It means stop bothering me. For the next example, you can read in the PowerPoint. Thank you.
To summarize the material that explained, so here the difference between slang and idiom. So slang is used in informal situation while idiom is used in formal situation. And then slang is used as a noun as well as a verb, but idiom is exists only as a noun. And the slang origin in the late 16th century while the idiom is in mid 18th century. Then to close this meeting, here slang is a term that refers to informal language that is specific to a particular context of group of people, and idiom is a phrase that has a meaning greater than its constituent parts might suggest. So yeah, I think that's all from us. Thank you for all of the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.